Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's January 10th, 2017, a Tuesday. Yesterday, Monday morning, the breaking news was there was a shooting in Orlando, Florida, and a manhunt for the shooter. And this morning, the headlines are still up. The manhunt for Markeith Loyd, who supposedly shot a police officer to death in Orlando outside of a Walmart. They're offering $60,000 if you can find this man, and I'm going to show you why no one will be collecting the $60,000. This is all part of very racist, staged propaganda. There was no police officer shooting. There is no Markeith Loyd. This is all propaganda. Again, adding to the ongoing agenda, saying that police are under attack, police need more body armor, higher powered weapons, more armored vehicles. Since this past summer, many states have been looking at signing the bill known as Blue Lives Matter, which is a bill that says police are in danger, they are targeted, especially by Black Lives Matter protesters, and because of this danger, there needs to be more police. They need more body armor. They need greater weapons capacity, and they need more protected vehicles. So here's just another headline, making this national news, letting everybody know this officer got killed. There's this manhunt. In reality, if you shoot a police officer, you're not going to escape for long. We live in a day and age where there's cameras everywhere, there's police everywhere. There's not going to be some big manhunt. This person would likely be arrested before there was even a chance for news headlines to break. So why are they saying $60,000 reward? You have to know the language of Gematria, which is used by our mainstream media, used by the Freemasons that run these police departments to code out these stories, to make up these names, to make up these details. The name Markeith Loyd equals 60, just like the most hateful word for black people. Also, just like the word police. Here they're saying a black man shot a police officer, and now there's a $60,000 reward. In this story, they're saying he shot a black woman, and they're saying she was 42 years old, which is the other number stamped on black people throughout history. The most hateful word for black people sums to 42 as well as 60. So there's the woman. They said she was an officer for 17 years. This is supposed to be Markeith Loyd. CNN, they made their news story when this broke 74 seconds long. A minute 14, 74 seconds, not by coincidence. Killing is 74, Masonic 74, Jewish 74, occult 74. Freemasonry, very much occult. Keepers of esoteric knowledge only known to the few, not the many. Here's the reporting. Deadly shooting outside the Walmart. Of course, they love to use Walmart in these false flags because Walmart is owned by your government. Walmart is your government. Walmart is the most subsidized private company in the nation. Our tax dollars pay for those stores to be built, and so much more. It's why their prices are low. Their prices are low because they're subsidized with your tax dollars. That's what people don't understand who shop at Walmart. They are driving out legitimate business, legitimate competition by shopping at the highly subsidized, government-owned and operated Walmart. Walmart equals 88 like poison, like program. I've never bought a thing at Walmart in my life because I've always known what that store is. If you shop there, you support your tyrannical government with your dollars. So anyhow, they said that the officer was a 42-year-old woman, Debora Clayton, 42, a 17-year department veteran who was married and mother of a college-age son. I'd bet you anything this woman's not dead at all, and she retired yesterday. Now she gets to live the rest of her life in retirement. Bet you anything. 42, number stamped on black people again and again. Most hateful word, sums to 42. That's English reduction using the alphabetic order. Sums to 60. And hey, RedSilverJ, TeamWakeEmUp. Since you wanted to dog Gematria yesterday, pay attention. Let me give you a little lesson on how these systems work. English reduction. This is what happens here. N is the 14th letter, but look here. N is worth 5. That's because 1 plus 4 becomes 5. I's the 9th letter. G's the 7th. G's the 7th. E's the 5th. R's the 18th. 1 plus 8 becomes 9. Now, if you use the alphabetic order, it sums to 60. You don't reduce any letters. You just use the alphabetic order. N14, I9, G7, G7, E5, R18. These two methods, they'll always break down to the same digit in numerology. 6 plus 0 is 6. 4 plus 2 is 6. No matter what word you spell using these two methods, they'll always break down to the same single digit. That's numerology. Gematria is based on the alphabetic order. RedSilverJ. Yesterday I wanted to say that Gematria, it's not anything. It's a lie. Which is just horrible that he would say that, because if he had taken the time to follow my work, he would see that I've shown how all throughout history, black people have had these numbers stamped on them, and oftentimes to create negative perception. Like yesterday's news, the same day he made fun of this. Yesterday's news story, now today's news story as well, the search for Markeith Loyd, it's meant to make black people look bad. These black cop killers out there. How many of these stories have we gotten recently? And they've all been ridiculous. The other month it was a skinny black man, they said, walked up to a police station and killed a police officer in front of it. Then they had a manhunt for days after. Can you imagine walking up to any police department and killing a police officer in front of the station and getting away and then having a manhunt for days? Give me a break. But 42 stamped all over black people throughout history. Brothers, the slang term Black History Month, the only month that sums to 42. In this case, it's a female. 42, also a number stamped on women. Female 42, lady 42, bitch 42. They said her name was Master Sergeant Debora Clayton, the way they spelled it, which sums to 242. The shooter is Markeith Loyd. The woman is Debora Clayton. Both of their initials break down to the same thing, 4 and 3. Thought that was interesting. Civil War equals 43. Charleston 43, where the Civil War began. A lot of Civil War coding in these racially divisive stories. In this case, though, they kept it as black on black crime. But understand, these messages that are pumped out by the media, they go to all different eyes, people from different backgrounds, and here in the United States of America, we live in a nation where people have been programmed through the television, through media, to think that black people are a danger to all people. They're dangerous, they're sexual predators, they're poorly educated. All these negative stereotypes. They're a threat to their own people, black on black crime. This story just plays into all of that. With regards to saying she was a 17-year veteran, the word kill has gematria of 17. The word kill also has gematria of 44, very relevant to police officers. Show you something about Orlando, Florida, and the word officer. The word officer is 44, the word trooper 44, the word sheriff 44, military 44. Look at how the police are being militarized in the post-9/11 agenda. All this ongoing propaganda. Our police look so much more like military than they did 2 decades ago. Shooting 44, kill 44. When you write out Orlando, Florida, it sums to 144. Just like when you write out 44, it sums to 144. And just for a bonus, when you write out April 4th as words, it sums to 144. Been a lot of famous deaths on April 4th, from the first president to die in office, William Henry Harrison, to Martin Luther King Jr. and more. The word killer's 144. They're saying a killer's on the loose. $60,000 reward. We know why. Yesterday's date, it was also a date with 47 numerology. The word authorities 47. Think about that in regards to the police. Agent 47. Special number here. The word time equals 47. The word time also has gematria of 144. Throughout history, created propaganda by the numbers, killing throughout time by the numbers, how I refer to it. Yesterday's story, just another example. Markeith Loyd. This happened in Orange County. Orange has Gematria of 33, like police, like race war, numbers used again and again in this racially divisive propaganda. They said that this officer was also killed in a motorcycle accident in Orlando yesterday. You know, this is just a little speculation, but perhaps this man and this woman had a relationship. Maybe they both get to retire and go live off wherever. Very possible. I don't know that this guy really died yesterday. He's part of this. They're mixing in his news with this propaganda story. You know, and I often rip police officers. I really don't like police. I used to teach in South Seattle, which is the black area of Seattle. Used to teach 5th grade there. And there was a black female officer. She came in every Thursday. I would always teach my students chess on that day. We'd play chess for an hour. And that woman, she also taught chess. And she was a police officer who in her own spare time had a chess club that she ran at the local library for kids to come to on the weekend. So, you know, I really don't like police, but there are some decent police officers out there. That woman who I'm thinking of, I always thought, why is she a police? Why doesn't she just be a teacher? You know, why be police? Police, you guys, look at what they do. They uphold unjust laws. They protect the tyrants. Anytime there's a protest, look how the police get in their military gear and stand in front of the protesters with their backs to the tyrants, meaning they're defending the tyrants. The police are the domestic military to hold down the populace, to enforce bogus laws, to arrest petty drug users. You know, nobody should be going to prison for being a drug user. If you're committing crime to fill your drug habit or you're getting high and causing a danger to people's lives, that's a different thing. But using drugs, you know, if we're free, you should be able to use drugs. Drugs, if you want to say they're bad for your health, guess what? So are a lot of other things that are sanctioned by the FDA, pushed on commercials all the time. You know, people don't get high and go and beat up their girlfriend. People get drunk and beat up their girlfriend, start needless fights. All sorts of people in this nation sitting in jail and prison for smoking weed. And that's because there's police officers there to uphold these bullshit laws. That's why no one should be police, because then there'd be no one to uphold the bullshit laws. You see how this works? So hold on here. CNN, for their timestamps yesterday, they had to put a 33 next to it in regards to the shooting, as they always do. False flag 33, police 33, masonry 33, secrecy 33, orange 33, and of course, the most important one, used again and again throughout history in this divisive propaganda, race war 33. Show you another good one. See if this jogs your memory. Remember, police is 33, so is LAPD. Who remembers what day Rodney King was beaten? If you don't know, you got to look it up. And all throughout history, from Rodney King to the present, that same number, 33, stamped again and again and again and again into this false flag propaganda. And hey, RedSilverJ, in case you're out there, like I told you, your name RedSilverJ equals 59. Number stamped on black people throughout history. I'm pretty sure your Zionist Jew shill bosses gave you the name. Negro, slave, blues. What year? Yes, it did. Yes, it did. In 1959, they said the AIDS was discovered in the in the Belgian Congo. In 1959, they say AIDS discovered. Disease to target black people, to kill them. The word kill in Jewish Gematria is 59. When you write out 5, it sums to 42. When you write out 9, it sums to 42. No other numbers do. We talked about how 42 is stamped on black people. Let's take a look at Rodney King real quick. You know what day Rodney King was born on? Rodney King equals 59 like we just showed. What day was Rodney King born on? Uh-oh. My computer wants to creep on me. Rodney King was born on a date with a 4-2 connection. Look at this. And he would die at age 47. You know, yesterday's Shooting a date with 47 numerology, important to the Freemasons who believe in order out of chaos, divide and conquer, who stage this propaganda, who run the police departments. Rodney King, born on 4/2, dead on June 17th, 3 years before what would become the Charleston church shooting hoax. Also all by the numbers. Rodney King dead at age 47. Rodney King beaten on March 3rd. If you hadn't looked it up yet, I just did your homework for you. So that's how they do it, Truth Seeker. Nobody will be getting that $60,000 reward. All part of the propaganda. If they end up doing a news story that somebody found them and they're giving them the $60,000, believe me, it's all part of the propaganda. No, don't believe me. Go back and do some research. See all the videos I put out. See how much of this race war stuff I've blown out by the numbers. How much I've predicted from understanding it. You know, this past summer we had the shooting in Tulsa. I showed how the story was a coded tribute to the Tulsa race riots. I said they're trying to create a race riot. And then boom, in Charlotte they do the same thing. Bus in people and have a race riot there. It's sick. It's sick. If you're a police officer and you're watching this, be a man or a woman, you know. Be an honorable person with integrity and turn in your badge today. Turn it in tomorrow. You are working for tyrants. You are part of what is tearing apart this nation. We don't need police. What we need are knowledgeable citizenry that are allowed to protect themselves. We'd be a lot safer. Police don't keep us safe. Look at my story. I was burglarized by my neighbor, who very much teamed up with the police, began harassing me after burglarizing my house, went out and filed a restraining order against me. And then what did the police do? They protected him all day, the person who ripped me off. I ended up in jail. Never been arrested before. Police, they're not doing shit for us. Creating traffic jams, not keeping us safe, protecting tyrants, participating in false flag propaganda. You know, it's police who are aiding all of these fake terrorism stories nationwide. Police. We need to get rid of them. Until next time, Truth Seeker.